Hey, welcome. I just felt like making a video and I thought I want to talk to you. So this is not one of those professional setups with a studio and stuff. This is me and you one-to-one. So I've been thinking, I've been spending the last few weeks working with some incredible people. Some really successful, wealthy, even famous people. And I thought to myself, I want to share some insights that I've learned from that. A little bit about myself. I know a lot of you know me, a lot of you don't know me. So my background is very simple. I've been in this field of personal transformation for now over 20 years. 400,000 people have come to my seminars. I've written 3 best-selling books. And my background is completely the opposite. In fact, if you had met me when I was 19, I was one of those typical guys, trying to do well in life. I thought I'd get a job, become successful in a job, and hopefully retire one day with a nice Rolex watch or something. But that didn't work out because I failed my exams at school. Not because I wasn't intelligent, I was just so scared of the exam, so nervous that every time I would sit an exam, I would just fail it. So at the age of 19, I was just sitting there thinking, what am I going to do in my life? I see people around me, they're successful, they're famous, they're wealthy, and I can't even imagine putting food on the table because I thought, what am I going to do? I don't have the educational background, I was overly overweight, and it wasn't looking very good. So one day I just kind of went to a seminar, very much like the seminars that I conduct. And I met a person and I was watching this seminar and I'm thinking to myself, what's my future going to be like? What am I going to do with my life? What's ahead? What's lying ahead? And I want you to ask that question to yourself at this moment. Doing what you're doing right now, where will you be in 5 years' time? A really crucial question. Where will you be in 5 years' time? When I asked myself that question, I had no answer. To get 5 years, I couldn't even think of 5 weeks ahead. And most people fit into that equation. People get into this kind of rat race of getting into a job or a business, hoping that that business or that job will take them to success. But I'm going to tell you completely the opposite. At the age of 19, doing nothing, by the time I'm 21, I'm making an absolute fortune. Life has changed dramatically. What changed? Nothing changed. Only I changed. And I want to share this stuff with you today over the next 10, 15 minutes, whatever time it takes. I'm just going to keep talking, and whatever comes out of my mouth, I'm going to keep talking. But my whole objective is this, is I want you to realize at this moment where you're headed. Because people don't think about that. People plan birthdays, they plan holidays, but very, very few people plan their life. And you may say to me, well, you can't really plan your life. I agree, to some extent it may be hard to do. But it's always good to be aware of where you're headed. It's like being on a plane. If you make a 1 degree shift in your direction, you can end up in a completely different part of the world. And if you look at your life right now, I'm not asking you to make big shifts. I'm not asking you to make dramatic changes, because dramatic changes are not even necessary. It's small shifts. So at age 19, I made a few shifts. One of the biggest shifts I took was that I took the decision to take responsibility for all of my success and all of my failure. Now that may look like a small shift. It's a massive, mammoth shift. Because I know that 1 degree of change in taking responsibility for your life will change everything about you. I conduct this program called the Secret Millionaire Blueprint. I meet countless people who come to these programs who want to make a shift. And they think by working harder, by working smarter, by starting businesses, by getting promotions, life is going to change. And I'm going to really disappoint you here and tell you no. In fact, I'm going to be very optimistic and tell you it's got nothing to do with the outside world. Your environment has nothing at all to do with your success. Nothing at all. It's all to do with this. 95% of success is psychology. Now, you may say to me, no, I've heard all that before. And I'm not talking about positive thinking, because I'm not a big advocate of positive thinking. Because I could be thinking positive all day long. Yeah, life is great, I'm very positive. But nothing's going to change unless you get up and take some action. But to get up and take action requires you to change a shift in your mindset. People want to give up smoking. They try, they take Nicorette tablets, they take chewing gum, they try alternatives. But it's got nothing to do with that. It's a moment of a decision where you make that shift and you make a decision. So, what is my purpose of this video? I have no idea. My purpose is to talk to you. Maybe to make you understand, maybe have a light bulb moment for you where you can just think about your life at this moment and think about how you're going to shift forward. Because it's very, very easy to predict your financial future. The last 5 years will be exactly the same as the next 5 years, unless you make a change. The only difference is going to be that your expenses will go up, your situation will not change dramatically, but you've got to make a change in your mindset. So I spent the last few years working with some of the most incredibly wealthy people of this planet. And I'm going to share with you some mind-blowing secrets. And there's a few things that you need to know. One of the things you've got to do is you've got to have a framework. Everything works within boundaries. Everything has rules. And if you don't understand how and what rules you're living by, there's no way on this planet you're going to shift forward. So one of the first rules I believe in, and I sincerely ask you to, if you can make notes, make some notes, but these few points I'm going to share with you will make a shift in your life. The first point is this, is that you've got to be in cause. Which means what? Which means that you've got to take action to create the life you want. You cannot wait for luck. You cannot wait for your stars to be right. If there's luck and there's stars, that's a bonus. But I know one thing, that we have the capability of making choices. We have the capability of making decisions. We have the capability of being visionaries and producing outcomes that we want. When I was 19, all I could see was doom and gloom. When I changed my mindset, all I could see was abundance. I could see change. I could see victory. I could see success. I could see challenges. And all those problems and those negative situations were still there. But now they began to excite me. They began to excite me to a level where I said to myself, you know what? I can do this. I can take on these challenges head on because I am responsible for my success. So I've got to be in cause. Now most people are in effect. Something happens in their life, they react. Someone says something bad, they react. Relationships are not going well, they react. But no one or most people do not go into that front footing that say to themselves that I'm going to do something to change my life. Look at life in general. What do people do? They go to school, they spend a fortune, they graduate, they start a job or a business. Then they spend the next 25 years of their life working, if you're in a job, for someone else's dreams. And if you're in your own business, instead of owning your business, you run your business. Which means day in, day out, you get in a situation where you're earning money to pay your bills. Why would you want to do that for? Imagine being in a situation where you could create an environment where success comes towards you. You've heard of that fantastic word that's buzzing nowadays called the law of attraction. The law of attraction is not about sitting on a chair, closing your eyes and visualizing things are going to happen. No. The law of attraction is about you stepping forward, creating an environment where people will and situations will come to produce the results for you. Here's an example. If I was right now to put a whole lot of rubbish and dirt and muck and garbage on the floor here, and I left it here for a day or two, what would happen? Eventually you will start seeing insects coming or cockroaches coming. If I left it there for a week or a month, what would happen? The place will be infested with cockroaches, with insects, and even rats will come. So an environment that creates that situation is going to be producing the results that you get. Which means that if I came right now and I said, you know what, I'm going to clean this place up, I'm going to disinfect it, and I'm going to keep it spotless. Would a rat ever come in this house? May do. Would a rat stay in this house? Never. Would a cockroach visit me? Absolutely. Would he stay here? Never. Because your environment dictates everything. So look at your life right now. Let's look at health. If you're overweight, you're unhealthy, it has to be because the environment you've created, which means the food intake, which means the exercise regime you have, is not conducive to produce the results that you want. So if you change that environment, you change your body. If you look at your bank account and your bank account doesn't look good, there's only one reason for it. Because the environment you've created does not create an abundance of wealth. How is it that some people may not even have the skills or the knowledge, but they produce results beyond imagination? In fact, we know that the top 15 people in the world right now, the richest people in the world, are almost all college dropouts. But I can guarantee you one thing, that all of them have a mindset of a champion. So you've got to create an environment. You've got to be in cause. Number two, you cannot make excuses anymore. There's no room for excuses. You either do something or you don't. When you have time to go to the gym and you say, well, I don't know if I can, I'm too tired, that's absolute BS. Because you have the time. It's about mindset. When you're in a situation where your business is going in a bad stage, what do you need to do? You need to step up and you need to take action. You are responsible. You can make all the excuses in the book, but ultimately, life is about results. When you see the Olympic the 100-meter sprint, who is remembered? The person that gets the gold medal. Nobody else. Nobody else. Because it is about results. Well, life has got to be about results. I've seen people come to my seminar, the Secret Millionaire Blueprint, and I've seen people stand up and share their life stories. And they tell me about the situation in their environment. Their wife is like this, their husband is like this, they don't have money, their health is bad, and they give me all the excuses of why those things happen. And within the space of 2 days, radical shift in mindset, where within the space of 30 days or so, they've shifted everything in their life. Change happens like this. Like what? Like this. It's just got to be that you've got to be in that mindset. You've got to create that environment. You've got to be responsible for your results. You've got to say to yourself that I produce results, not excuses. Number 3, you've got to be 100% responsible for your results. When I say 100%, you cannot blame anybody. If the stock market crashes and you lose money, whose fault is that? Your fault. If you're overweight and you have a thyroid problem, whose fault is that? Your fault. Do something about it. If you don't have enough money, your fault. And if you take that upon yourself, like I did when I was 19, change will happen like this. My message to you is very simple. Your life is going to be exactly the same way it is unless you make a change. You can read a book, but that's not going to change your life, even though I'm a big advocate of reading books. You've got to find a coach. You've got to find a system. You've got to find someone that studied the rich, the famous, the most successful people in the world. Get into an environment where you're with a group of people that's going to help you change that. At my last millionaire event, there were over 800 people that came. 800 positive, energetic people. And we had breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. I had a person who stood up and said, I want to commit suicide. And within the space of 20 minutes had a radical shift in their system, in their mindset. I had a person that was a billionaire who lost everything, but suddenly decided that they're going to take charge of their life again. Relationship issues. In fact, my program is not only for people with problems, my program is for people that want to make change. I'm not looking for people that have got problems. I'm looking for people that say, you know what, I want to take control of my life. And that's what it's about. How are you going to do it? What is your next move? How are you going to make that change? What have you done over the last 1-2 years to create change in your life? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, not going to work. I'm being very straight with you. And you may get upset with me being straight with you, but there's a reality check. And the reality check is this. Unless you get off your backside, have a mindset of a champion, nothing is going to change. You've got to have a balance. Some of you may be really great in your work, but you may have challenges in your relationship. Some of you may be really healthy and fit, but you may not make enough money. You may have an imbalance in your life. You have happiness in one area and sadness in another area. What about you finding a way to balance that? What if you could eliminate all of your limiting beliefs? What if you could find a mindset where you get up in the morning and you fly out of bed because you're into a mission of cause? What if you could do that? I've had over 400,000 people come to my event. Massive changes. India is going through a revolution. The last 5 years has changed the psychology of this country. The next 5 years are going to be even more challenges. I'm telling you right now, 5 years ago, there were no relationship or not many relationship issues in this country. There were no drug problems in this country. There were no financial difficulties in this country in terms of businesses going bust. There was very less competition. If you had an MBA, you could do well. Today it's changed. Today people don't look at MBAs. They look at psychology, they look at skill, they look at leadership, they look at visionary. What about your life? What are you going to do? Are you going to go through the pain that most people go through? 95% of the population are living in pain because they don't make changes. They're too scared to create change. I'm asking you to come to my event, have a breakthrough beyond your imagination. I promise you one thing. They're going to be 2 days that you will never, ever, ever forget. And, and people say, oh, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have this. Cut the BS. Let's be straight. Come, spend 2 days, transform your life. I'm so sure. I've studied so many people, they are patterns. There's only 4 or 5 different types of people in this world. And there's only one type of successful person. I know the gap, I know the attributes, I know the success system, I know how they think, how they walk, how they talk, how they produce results in their mind. I know what drives people, what motivates people. I know all that. I'm not saying I know all of it, of course I know. I'm open-minded. In fact, I learned so much from the people that come to this program. I had breakthrough upon breakthrough myself. And I'm inviting you to come over. Come and spend 2 days with me. And I promise you one thing. Life will never be the same again. Breakthroughs are inevitable. Relationship breakthroughs, financial breakthroughs, spiritual breakthroughs. You'll go through emotions that you've never experienced. You will identify who you really are. Or you have another option. Do what you're doing. And one day or another you're going to come. Take action. I promise you, it's going to be 2 days of absolute bliss. 2 days of power. 2 days of certainty. 2 days of growth. 2 days of chance for you to contribute to other people's lives. 2 days where you're going to feel so significant about yourself. And 2 days of absolute excitement. It's not a lecture. I'm not going to lecture you. It's fun. It's energy. And you're going to meet 800 or so amazing people. Do you know 800 amazing people in your life right now? Most people don't even know 4. I can't wait to meet you. I hope this video has been useful for you. I'm sitting in my home here in Mumbai. And you know, I love what I do. It's a deep passion in my heart that I want to share information. I want this country to take leaps and I want it to just go to levels that you can't imagine. Because the next 5 years are going to be amazing in India. Your chance to become a millionaire, a billionaire, your chance to become famous, your chance to give your family the best you can ever do. I'm going to love you and I'm going to leave you and I'm going to see you soon. God bless and I'll see you soon.